Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Bit of a better mood than I was last time that I actually left this game. One of our clan members put up some doubloons for a tournament within the clan, and the idea was just to get a little bit of fun. Everybody would pop into a training room and we would 1 versus 1. I posted the finals of that match with Viper Velocity and I think it was Lionel. Here in this match is just a bit of a practice match. I did the Battleships one as well. The cruiser one I got absolutely annihilated. I took a Smolensk and faced on it Des Moines got to within 3.5 k's of me sneaking around an island and obliterated me. Very, very good play by Lionel. So this particular game, I'm actually just scrimming. It's not part of the tournament. The tournament was me versus the Republic, and that was me chasing him around an island and blapping him. Then I got to the semi-finals with my chose a Yamato versus a Conqueror. It was quite a good match, and then the Conqueror loaded AP and got the luckiest citadels on me. It was so not worth it. This match, something different. I'm in my Kremlin, and I've just run into my opponent in his Kurfurst. Kurfurst, obviously, as everybody knows, is quite a good secondary build. And the problem with the Kremlin is you got short arms. What is it? 20 kilometers? So now I've got to get close to him. I know I can out-tank a Kremlin, Kurfurst in a Kremlin. So the game is on. The interesting scenario for me now is I spotted him initially, and he has now moved behind that island. Whichever way I go, he's got the advantage. Do I tee across the island in front? Now, it sticks out and overpins, and his secondaries are going off on me again. As I was saying, the advantage of him going behind the island every time is if he hides behind an island, he's got 2 turrets at the rear, 2 turrets at the front. So 6 guns either way. Kremlin from the front, as you can see, is an absolute monster. It is an absolute beast. I can tank him. I can out-tank him, and with just my front guns I can outgun him. My biggest problem is if I show him my broadside, then I'm going to get my ass kicked, because citadels. He has that infamous turtleback citadel. Very, very difficult to hit. I have big guns, but I need to be cognizant of what's happening here. And this was really a pucker factor game, because it's a case of suspecting him to come out, show me a little bit more broadside. The Kremlin Sigma did get nerfed a while back, but she's still quite accurate, and I know 1 to 2 shells will hit, I'll do a lot of damage. Looks like he has stopped, and this is a bit of a problem for me now. So what do I do now? He's got 2 advantages over me, as you can see. He's got spotter planes, and he has hydro. I got limited repairs. As you can see, he's hydroing me, and his spotter planes. He knows exactly where I am. I don't know where he is. I have no other way of finding him. I speak under correction. I think before the Kurfurst came out, before the Kremlin came out, the Kurfurst had the biggest HP pool, depending on how you build it. My Kremlin is built as a survivability build, as a bit of a tank. So now my problem is, do I stick my bow out far enough here? He's going to citadel me. And this leaves me with a bit of a problem. How do I do this? How do I get him? Because he's obviously sitting behind that island waiting for me. I can't spot him. If I go too far out, he's gonna blap me. Now, if you ever played World of Tanks, you will remember the reverse side scrape tanking. And that's what I'm going to attempt here. So, start going backwards and start angling. By the time that I'm coming past and I'm able to see past the island, I should be at enough of an angle that he cannot just blap and penetrate me. His hydro is still picking me up, so I know he's within, 6Ks, because he's got that offensive German hydro. And he's aiming at me. He's locked on. The moment I show any little part, the moment I show any part of my ship, he's going to shoot. I don't particularly want to lose HP just for the heck of it. And again, I chose this replay because this was one of the most strategic ones in the tournament. Others were, like I said, I wasn't going to bore you with chasing a Richelieu around an island. Richelieu is a fun ship. It's got only one turret front, one turret rear. Each turret has 4 guns per turret. Reload is fairly fast. It's a fast ship, but the competitor I was playing against, he was trying to get both turrets into play. So every time he would turn, show me broadside, and I would just use my front 2 guns, front 2 turrets, 6 guns, as you can see. So I'm not spotting the Grosser Kurfurst here. I've moved far enough out, and even now if I come around the island, I shouldn't show enough broadside to allow him to hit a citadel. He's still there. I'm within 6Ks. I'm picking up his hydro. Now it's his spotting planes again. Yes, he had every advantage. I mean, anybody that says the Kremlin is overpowered doesn't know how difficult it is sometimes to play this. And what I loved about the one-on-ones, there was nobody else to interfere. This was who could use their ship the best. A little bit of luck involved. You'll see a little bit later. A little bit of luck involved. But there's his spotter plane again, and I start realizing he might be on my left-hand side. I'm still expecting him here. This is where he was, but he's obviously realized what I was doing and bailed. I start shooting down more swatting planes, but I just could not risk going around that island without a decent angle and getting absolutely blapped by him. So far it's been a fairly boring match. You know, it's a bit of cat and mouse. And this is what happens in the single matches. I was unfortunately not around when the DD matches played, as much as I absolutely despise DDs. The one-on-one DD matches would have proved quite interesting with torpedoes, so you can torpedo 2 sides of the island and chase around. Battleships, we don't have that. You're allowed to choose any battleship. The only battleships that I have torpedoes, I think, is a Scharnhorst, and I'm not going to take a tier 7 into a tier 10 match. And I see him, and he snuck up on my rear. So now I have a problem. Now I have a real big problem. He's got all 4 of his guns in play, but he sets 2 fires on me, and I need to damage control that immediately. He has fired, and now while I can, I need to sail away, angle away, and get my guns into play. And his secondaries are nasty. Those things do a lot of damage. Obviously, I'm getting out of my secondary range. No Kremlin I've ever encountered uses a secondary build. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And now, for some reason, I'm not being chased. And I'm not sure why. So I score a fairly good hit there. Take a chunk out. And I'm not going to give a broadside until he's fired a salvo. There, I take the salvo. I should be able to fire now and start turning. Heal up. He's slowing down, and I want to see if I can disable any of his rear turrets. Chunk him a nice one again. And now it's time to start turning. Get the island in between us. Tank away. and then start turning. I've only got one fire burning on me. I can burn one of my repair parties, but it's not really necessary at this stage. I've got fireproof. I've got the anti-fire flags running on the ship. So what's that? Takes 20% less time to put out a fire. So the fires only run like 40%. And here's one of the really, really nice things. Look at this turret. The Kremlin has got incredible turret traverse. I think it's got, what, 30 seconds versus minute plus of some of the other battleships. Yeah, this thing is overpowered as hell. So now as I get around the island, and you'll notice I took a wide turn, so I can keep the island between me and him while I was turning, not to show any broadside, and now I can start going bow in. I have an idea where he is. I don't know how he's turned. And like I said, this was a super interesting cat and mouse game to try and outplay somebody else that's obviously quite good at playing his battleships. Where is he? So this is a frustrating part, unfortunately, was the Ringa Rosie game around the islands. Now if he's sitting in wait there with his rear turrets, and I come around, I'm going to get blapped again. So turn away, turn my guns towards where I think he might be sitting, but I need to turn away from him so that there's a decent angle, 30, I think it's what, 30 degrees, where a lot of the bounces happen. And I'm cognizant of the islands around me. We are not in stealthy, easy turning ships, and there he is. He went around that island. I loaded HE because I think he needed a fire or two in his life. And the Kremlin, the way I run it, has 47 or 49% fire chance. There's an island in my way, and he is making a sharp turn. So this is a bit of a bother. AP coming in, and he chunks me. Get another fire on him, get some good damage, but it's fairly close. We're running very close. And now comes the problem. I need to turn. I need to expose a side because that island is in my way. And he is obviously realizing every time he shows his sides, I'm going to take a chunk out. And he takes a bunch out of me. And I'm like, ooh. Here's my problem now. I needed to turn to avoid that island. And a bit of a misplay there. My heel isn't fast. I take another big hit from him. He's got me dead to rights. And he's really hurting me. I mean, look at how he's got half of his health. But remember what I said about the Kremlin's turret traverse. My turrets can out-traverse him. I'm not going to ram him. My turrets can out-traverse his. You can look at that. His turrets can't keep up with my ship and my turrets. And there we go. 6 hits, citadel on him. I take half of his health away. And whoever secondaries now finishes the kill first is the one that gets the win. And there we go.
Good one.
Beating a grosser Kurfurst.
Yeah,
close up.
That was very close. But
Just shows you sometimes having faith in your ship and understanding it. That looked like an unwinnable situation.
Well,
He
got
thought
me.
he
You
had
broke my
me. I
guns.
had something like 4,000
Might
health
have got
left.
another round off.
But I
of
used
that.
the turning of my turrets to my
That was
best
good.
of my abilities, and I won.
Very interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers.